Misa, let me know when you're ready. Okay, Misa, are you here? Are you ready? Guys, I think Misa actually went to go get wine and a wine glass, but I'll get us started in the meantime. I don't know how to do the celebration, but I feel like we can all just like talk about what this means to us and literally just celebrate. I was trying to figure out how to do music onto Zoom because I've never done it before, but then I was in a call with a client before this and I didn't quite figure it out. So, everyone. Do you have any way to play music, Misa? I really don't have any music compiled, but I just want to just start off by saying, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I think I speak for both Misa and I when I say we literally just set an intention for R1 million, and we were just so blasé about it. All we did was set the intention and trust that the podcast and whatever we're doing was going to work to raise that much for the developer. And of course, we've surpassed what the developer even had in mind, because we raised the full 1.4, just a little over 1.4. And we're so excited. Personally, I'm in awe that, wow, that is possible that can be done in 6 weeks. But also just confirmation that it's never about the time period of anything. It's always, and it's never about the money. It's always just about being in alignment and not doing the most. So yay! Misa, your turn. Like, I don't really have to say that. I'm excited, guys.
Okay, yeah. Can you hear my music?
No.
You can't?
No. I know, this is the problem. This is what I was trying to figure out this afternoon.
You can't?
No, we can't hear it.
I'm so upset.
I know, I was trying to figure out how people do it.
Ah, well, I don't know why it's not playing on the Zoom. How? Why is it not playing on the Zoom? I'm very disappointed with this thing. I don't like it anymore. Anyhow, my song that I was playing was Kool and the Gang. Celebrate good times, come on. Wow. Congratulations, wealthy ones. We have outdone ourselves, not done. We have outdone ourselves. This is ridiculously ridiculous. And we have got a principle at Wealthy Ones that we do, at Wealthy Money that we do. Every little win we celebrate, because money is a thing, you know. Money is an energy that wants to know that we appreciate it, we love it, we want it around us, and we want more, right? So that's what we do. That's what we do when we have had even the slightest little thing. Yes, I'm gonna show you the figures right now. When I do the presentation, it's ridiculous. You guys are ridiculously fun, and but this is what happens when we are all serious about wealth creation and legacies. And I hope we keep this up in whatever way, whether you are saving here, whether you are putting it under the mattress, whether you are putting it in assets that are making you, your family, and your children money. And thank you for trusting us with this. So we had to have this communication today because you have just shown us a side of you that most people will never know, right? That you trust and believe in the vision that we have.
Yeah.
So I've got my glass of my Simon sir. Have you got a glass, everyone?
We want to see. Let's see on video.
Yeah.
Tavi has been waiting for this, guys. She had everything ready by Sunday. She was messaging me to say, I am ready. Can we just celebrate this? Also,
let's hear the song.
Yeah.
I don't know how to play the song on Zoom, guys.
I don't know how to play it on Zoom, but if you can hear it from me.
Good times, come on. Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you, Bobby.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
Good times, come.
Gosh, you are so funny.
Raise
and you are
your
even
glass,
wearing
guys.
yellow. So cheers to 1 million plus, and cheers to many more deals, and cheers today to the 250 million portfolio that you, me, and everyone
All
are
of
going
us
to
are going to
build.
be
Yeah.
part of. Yes.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to say, because I've been talking a lot to Pabi, right? Guys, Pabi has been the most excited. I think even more than me. She's been like, why aren't you more excited about this? But one of the things that she was, that I think she got me to think about is I'd like us to just, if you want, what has this opened up for you? Because Pabi has been constantly saying to me that every time she sees the figures, it's changing the way she perceives money and what is possible for her. So I like this idea of seeing this as proof. Whenever I see, especially Black women doing incredibly well, right? I'm like, what does this prove is possible? What does this open up in terms of possibilities? How is this changing your perception of wealth? I think that's actually a great question.
Yeah.
So does anyone want to share? Pabi, I'll let you go first. I know you've been dying to share. So go for it.
It's just
Cheers,
been so
guys.
affirming. It's been so affirming for me to see all those money emails come in every single day. And it's just like, it's made me want to make more money, but more than anything, it's been healing to me, and it's changing the perception that I have of Black women in my mind. I mean, people usually say such nasty things about us. They act like we can't stand on our own 2 feet, yet you find that households are being led by women, women do so much. And and also for me, you always hear about how women are always fighting each other and how we never embrace each other and this and that. But to have like a group of Black women who don't even know each other actually raise this much money for a common purpose has just been wonderful. I mean, those emails make me so happy. I don't care if anyone paid 1,000 Rand or 150K or whatever. It's just, I always look forward to them. So it makes me happy. So that's why I'm like so excited about this.
I know.
Yeah, I'm just so proud of everyone who's here.
That is amazing. That is so stunning. Let me tell you what it has done for me. I keep saying to people, people talk a lot about, you need capital. You need capital for property investing. And I would see people that would contribute their first 1,000, and then they will make an effort for another 400 rands and another 250 rands there, and then another day it's 500. For exactly doing that, for me, shows me someone hears me when I say, actually, property investing is possible. With the little money that you have, go make it, exercise, gym somewhere, don't sit on it. And that's exactly what my passion is about, because everyone has told us ke dilo tsa makgowa, this is white people stuff, and we will never achieve it. And achievement starts with little by little, and that building. So big up to everyone from your 250 to your 250,000. That is exactly what we are here about. Yeah. Anyone else wants to go, please, we'd love to hear what it has changed for you.
Marwen.
Hey, Sinjani, Mandisa. Hi.
Hi, Mandisa.
All right, cool.
I thought I'd speak today instead of just lurking around in the background.
Awesome. I love that.
You know what I think? I mean, I think that there's a profound shift in the generational energetic realm.
Yeah.
When we decide to show up and rewrite the narrative. So I think that for Mna, that is the most important thing. And I've been thinking about how do I translate that sense of agency, that sense of collaboration, and that excitement, you know, how do I translate that to maybe the younger women that I interact with that are not around? And I suppose in some ways it's made me revalue or reevaluate the way I'm walking. The way I'm walking, the stories I'm telling myself, and just the stories that I'm also not telling myself, but that live in my head, you know, and those that live in my body, that I've embodied over time around what wealth looks like. And I love this idea, Yoguti. It's I mean, I was in another Stokvel, so I dumped that Stokvel when I saw the email. I was like, bye-bye, I'm out. And my month was February. You have to find something else, I'm out. It's unborn. But I think that for me, that it was just about the idea that it's beyond me. And I love that. I just love the idea that it's beyond me. Whatever happens with it, it's beyond me. And it has the potential to impact so many of the people that come after me who might never meet me, but who have an opportunity to experience the world in a different way because of a decision that I'm making at the time. So yeah, that's what I'm sharing. Thank you.
That's it. Awesome. Thank you so much, Mandisa. That's such a thing. The stories that live in our heads. Mina, I can't. Mina, I'll never. Mina, I don't know how. Right? For me, Gabo Yaone says, and Gabo Yaone is in Botswana, guys. She says, for me, this is giving me hope of being financially independent. For the first time, I'm embracing the possibility that it's okay to live a comfortable life that is not limited by money. Gabo Yaone. I know, and that's the story that's been living in your head. We're not sure who planted it there, but it's been living there, right? Absolutely amazing.
Avile says, whoop, whoop. It has been so exciting being a part of this deal. It's one thing to know that it can be done, but a whole paradigm shifting process when you're actually part of a crowdfunding deal. It can be done.
It shall be done. Right? It is being done. Lydia has got her hand up. Hey, Lydia.
Lydia.
You don't want to talk to us. Okay. It's fine.
I'm going to ask her to unmute.
Oh, I am. Sorry, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, for me, it's just hoping it's opening up the whole kaleidoscope of possibilities. Like I'm even thinking around SAA again and that. Like that's how big I am. like when I go past the airport. Like now I'm like, no, I need to own something here by the airport. Anything I need to import or own this building, that houses, because there's so much import and imports. And again, it's seething for me because of the fear that I have around Stokvel. We saw our moms like losing their monies on Stokvels, and even the limitation that only maybe I will only be in Stokvel for food and stuff and whatever. But this Stokvel, it's go to the bank. Cheers.
To the bank. There is Malebogo in Botswana again. She's excited to be part of this. For me, this is a dream. I'm also in Botswana and invited by two friends from Botswana. We got this. Bona. And wherever, in Francistown or wherever, you'll be looking for opportunities, because who knows, our 250 million dream of a portfolio could go anywhere. Could go any, like, guys, you have no idea. We've got incredible things going on in the background. It's frightening. It's frightening in a good way. So, shall we begin?
Yes. So,
guys,
guys,
want to keep you here for the whole night. Yeah.
It is a school night after all, and we're very cognizant of that. Children have bedtimes at 8. I'm in the Cape, so it's as light as you see it, so I forget about time. Okay, so Lydia says international, here we come. Mizo, I'm gonna pass it over to Mizo, guys. So we've had meetings, I'll interject, but I think for the most part, I'm gonna have Mizo talk about what's come up with the deals. As we explained, the deal with Matt fell through, and we do have a bit of an, I don't want to call it a situation. We've got a good problem that, like, they had already raised most of the money, and then by the time we came through, we had raised all the money for the deal, right? And they've already got 800,000. So, and then the terms had changed. The terms of the deal have also changed. So here's what we've come up with, because as we say, we're always working in the background for the next deal. So Mizo, please share your screen and take it away.
Okay. And I'm gonna rely on you and
Penny.
Hi, Kweleti. You missed the celebration part. Man, I hope you have a glass of wine. Sheesh. These people, you can't miss the celebration.
Not at all. And guys, this is about the energy of money. This is why we're doing it. We celebrate and we just let money know. And also it's letting our nervous systems know that it's safe, that it's okay. We are held by each other as we expand.
Yeah. And it's safe to have champagne on a Tuesday evening. Yeah. Just because we can. If we had a yacht, we would be on a yacht somewhere. Yeah. So let me, this is your communication session, and please get used to these, because the whole point is that we are investing together. So we need to take you along as things change, as things get better, or as things take a different shape. We are going to do communication sessions. So, and as Ben has thankfully been communicating with you on the WhatsApp group, it makes it easy to pivot and let you know when things are changing, so that by the time we have a webinar, someone that has missed it will get this recording, and we hope they will be able to ask questions after listening to the webinar. So I used old slides, Vangile by now, and the people who don't know us, this is Vangile, this is the chairperson of Wealthy Money and the co-founder. I am just going through that, and this is me. This is Tired Me. I'm the treasurer, and I am the and I'm the deal maker as well. It is an incredible job, and it's fun though. It's fun. So
yeah, she decides where your monies are going, guys. As the treasurer.
And it's fun. It's fun looking for the deals because I make the networks and people get to know about Wealthy One's property Stokvel. Then what we didn't do, okay, maybe we'll do it in the next communication session about the Wealthy One's name actually.
Yeah, no, that's a separate webinar
Separate
altogether.
communication session. All right.
Yeah.
So here's how the presentation outline is going to be. This is short. So we had the celebration and we want to update you on what has gone on with deal 2 and the reason for pivoting. And then how we're going to make deals work, the deal work anyway, because monies are in on Stokvel and monies are in from international investors, monies are in the FNB account, and then you're going to have an opportunity to answer questions from the floor. So please, I'm going to keep this short so that you have time for questions and answers. It's a school night. Okay. I'm going to always keep this slide then of the mission of this Stokvel. The vision is a 250 million in assets in the next 5 years. And ask me how it's going to be done. I don't have a template right now, but that's the vision, and I'm wanting us to hold the vision together, right? Okay, so, and this slide, you know that you make monthly contributions, and thank you to everyone that has understood. Some people have been contributing 10,000, 5,000, 500, 250. As long as you've done your initial 1,000, you can input any amount of money you want, so that when the deals come, the deals come. So let's talk about the deal with Kuro. This is the details of what the deal was about. The developer was looking for 1.4 million, about 62,000 US dollars. And he was fundraising for a deal in Berario in Randburg, where he has bought an old dilapidated house, and he was going to do phase 1 of the house. He was caught on video telling me about his deal. I was at the site of the house, and he promised a rate of return of 15% in 3 months, right? And the most that would be delayed would be an additional 4 weeks. How he was meant to do it was, he has this big house. It is on a plot of something like 1,500 square meters. He was meant to flip the deal. That means he was going to cut up the house into 4 units and rent it out. And after he has renovated and has got these 4 units and he collects rent, and because he's a very savvy flipper, he knows that it takes him 12 to 16 weeks to do a flip. And then he would go to the bank, refinance, and then come back and give our money back. Now, when we got to the details of the deal and we let him know that we are edging closer to your 1.4 million, on Thursday, Friday last week, when we were getting closer to closing and getting to the contract, the deal terms changed. And he said, oh yeah, oh no. Firstly, he said he wants to invest the money wherever he wants. But the contract that we enter into, guys, we always enter into a deal where it is placed at a particular property. That means it must have an address. The address was number 50, Olivia Street, Berario, Randburg. That is the deal that our money is going to, and that's how the contract gets written. So that if anything goes pear-shaped and we have got a contract, when we give it to an attorney to say, take this case for us, that deal or that house can be sold and we are first in line to get our money. That's how we sign a contract. So now the deal changed. He says, I'm going to spend it and split it between 2 deals that I have. That was unacceptable for us. Second thing, the term of the deal was changing, and he says, oh yeah, give me 16 weeks up to about 9 months, and then you will get your 15%. That's changing the terms of the deal in between, and that was unacceptable to us. Thirdly, when they brought back the contract, it said 15% per annum. It doesn't say now 15% per the time of the deal, which means the 15% changes. He's going to take our money, and if he gives us the money in, let's say, 6 months, we would get 7.5%, not the 15% as promised. So it worked out way less than the 15%. And remember what in our constitution is written. We promised you that we would get into deals of no less than 10.2%. And that is our promise. We will do anything 10.3, 12%, 11%. But the minute it goes below 10%, we are not playing by the constitution. So the decision to pivot is because he was changing the deals as we were doing the to and fro with the contract. For that reason, this can be trusted as a deal that we want our members to participate in. And we had to make a quick pivot and do an executive decisioning of we cannot let our money go work for 7.5%. Indeed, 7.5% looks great. Anyone that lives in Europe and the US will tell you that 7.5 is great. But in South Africa, you can make much more than that in property deals. In the savings account, of course, you would be doing double the amount that a savings account would give you. You would double what your money makes in a money market account, but that's not the promise. And the constitution stands. We make a deal when you are going to get 10.2 and above % of interest. So that's the flipping deal. And that's what has happened with the terms of the deal. And when you are someone that changes the terms, then you really are putting the executive in a problematic space, because what do I say to the members? What do I say about what your money is doing? Because your money is not working as promised, right? So that's the first decision that we had to take as the executive. Alrighty. Now, what has happened in the meantime? I told you that we are never short of deals. This world is abundantly full of deals. As the deal was going down on Friday, then when did you get the SMS about a new deal? Was it Friday afternoon?
Was it?
Friday
I think it was Thursday. Because remember, I was like, I already said to Leroy, which is the deal we're going to tell you about, guys.
Yeah.
I received a call saying that, hey, I talked to Tony Ninkovich and I heard about the Stokvel, and he said that I should contact you. I've got a deal. And then we had a conversation and I said, well, the current deal is offering 15%. And he was like, oh, I can do that in 12 months. And then we're like, no, we need at least 6 months. Because
yeah.
We understand that you need 12 months, but we need 6 months if we're going to do this, because we could already see that the other deal was not offering the original, not honoring the original terms.
No.
So then I referred Leroy to Mizo, and she's going to tell you what they discussed.
All right. So I want to stop this share because I want to show you something that is going on. And this is how deals are made, guys. This is how you know that a deal is being made. So Leroy was on one of our podcasts. Then we'll look him up what podcast number he was. He is an outstanding developer, outstanding human being in the property sector. He tells his story in podcast number 60 something. I've forgotten what it is. And he tells his story of coming back from drug addiction to becoming a property developer and a millionaire, right? So what Leroy is doing is he's got a huge development that he is doing. And this is how deals are made. He sends you the deal. You get to know exactly what the deal looks like. Is everyone seeing something on top?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I think
You are, ne?
everybody else is saying yes. We're seeing the Village
Okay.
Mall, 37 Montague Street, Boxford.
That's it. This is how a deal is made. Okay. So 37 Montague Street is an existing development where he is going to develop 43 bachelor units, low to medium housing complex that he is doing. He is doing townhouses, but on the lower end, right? Excuse me. When I get excited, I get very hot. So 37 Montague is being developed, and this is a confirmation of of his loan at TAF. TAF is for those who are not South African, TAF is a trust housing fund that takes money from wealthy people, and those wealthy people are willing to have their money work in what we call high risk areas like townships, city center Johannesburg, city center Cape Town, city center Durban. So TAF is almost parallel to the banks because the banks have got a little less risk appetite than TAF. TAF will give you money to develop in the township and in the towns that are considered less palatable. So that's where Leroy is residing. It's in the East Rand in Johannesburg, east of Johannesburg City. So he is buying this property. He's going to refurbish it for 9 million rand. And what does he need? He is required to pay or contribute an equity amount of 4,596,000. 4,596,000. That is the amount of money he is needing to put what we call money down. All right, but he has raised most of the money. He actually has most of the money, and all he needed from us was the last 550,000 so that he can pay. So he's got the 4 million, and he's going to pay that money. And this 4 million goes towards the purchase price, a deposit, conveyancing, and a deposit for the refurbishment. So at TAF, when they give you money, you always have to have a 10% money down. So he needs to have this equity amount, which is money upfront. It's like a deposit, and then they will give him 13 million. And he needs to hold on to that money because he will start his development and refurbishment and whatever. And that's how he is going to pay us. All right. So this development he has presented to TAF, and TAF likes the idea. And TAF is just one of those funders that we really, really like because they absolutely invest in Black people and Black townships. So they like us, right? So given that Leroy only needs 550,000 from us, so it puts us in a predicament. We've got a good problem. He's got a good problem as well, in that we've got more money than he needs, and we have more money than he needs, and our money cannot all go into that deal. So we've thought up of options just so that you can start thinking about it. I'm going to tell you about the option in a minute. I just want to show you something. I want to show you this slide first. These are the monies to date. This is what international investors have done. 575,374.99. This is what the local investors have done.
Hi, Mizo, are you still there? Hello, can everyone hear me, or is it just me?
Everybody, no, we can't hear her.
Okay, Mizo, we lost you for a second.
Hi, Bonjan.
We
So
lost you. We got the international investors and local investors. You can carry on.
Okay, cool. I'm back now, ne? Okay. Am I back?
Yes, you are.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. All right, thank you. So we've got a good problem and a good problem. It's really a very, very good problem to have. So what are we gonna do? Let's just say on the 2nd of December, when we launched deal number 2, which is the one that is falling flat, the flip, and because the terms have changed, and it's not falling flat, we'll go back to that developer one day. We just have to be very clear about our terms and be very clear, because we have promised you that we will communicate. That's what we are doing. So we've got a short-term deal on the table. The short-term deal only requires 560,000. What are we going to do? By the 2nd of December, by the way, then when we were launching deal number 2, there had been people contributing already. I think we were standing at something like 28,000 rands, something like that.
Yeah, I remember.
Can you remember? We had
yes,
20,000 in Stokvel, and the FNB account for international investors. There was no movement yet. Okay.
Yes.
So some people were early adopters of deal number 2, and they started pouring in monies, right? And the money that they have poured in by the 5th of January, you guys are incredible, by the way. By the 5th of January, we were standing at something like 568,000. I don't know what happened to all of you. You all woke up after New Year's or whatever. So here's what the executive has had to deal with and decided. We feel like some people's monies had already been trickling in very early, even before the deal. Let's not let a good deal pass us. There are 6 months where we can make 15% for some of the investors, and we will take the early adopters' money. That is the option 1 that we are taking. People who were first in, their monies will participate in the deal of the Slava Holdings, which is Leroy's deal. And it is going on for 6 months, and it is 15% for the 6 months. So we feel like this is how we are going to deal with the monies that were in by the 5th of January. We will tell you what the sum total of the money was that was needed, that had been in by the 5th of January. And then
it's 568,000 that had been in. And
568,150, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so we'll give that to Leroy, guys. And the other thing is also, to interject on this one, is Leroy is also offering a learn situation. So if any of our members want to go on site and want to learn from him, he's offering that as well. So if your money goes into that deal, I don't know how that would work, but there's this, he's got this whole, he wants his investors to have the opportunity to go on site and learn about property and be mentored.
Yeah, he's a developer. So he's such a teacher, yeah. Hey? So that's Leroy. And well, I'm going to go on site for his deal next week, and I will definitely take a video for all of you so that you can see it. It's in Boxback somewhere, and Van may be able to join me. So we will show you what the deal looks like. And he will come here when he has started his development. He will come here and talk to us, because he always does a earn and learn with every group of investors that he goes in with. So he always wants to teach about what goes on in development. He really will give us a good webinar on that. All right, so that's the executive decision to say first money's in. It's only fair for that money not to just sit and wallow in the bank account or in Stokvel, but it was only Stokvel people that had invested by then. All right. So the other thing that's happening, because there's never a time where I'm not doing a deal analysis or looking up deals, is that there's a deal 3 that is in the process. I think I shared that in the WhatsApp group. And this deal is even more amazing because it's a possible collaboration with the Sakisizwe Stokvel, which some of you belong to, right? And we are so happy that we can collaborate with our partners like that. And we told you that Lee is our coach for setting up the Stokvel. So this deal was brought to us by Sakisizwe Stokvel because there's power in numbers. And this deal number 3 has got a possible higher return. I'm too afraid to share right now the percentage, but it is higher than the 15%. And we are still looking at the deal. The only difference is that the terms of that deal is 12 months. It's another development outside of Johannesburg, about an hour out of Johannesburg. And that deal looks like amazing. And if we were to collaborate with Sakisizwe, we would be the only Stokvels that are collaborating with that developer, and he is giving us a good deal. And we thought this is exciting, and we want to have a look at that deal. I have gotten a message then about what's going on with that deal. I am just going to read it through for you to say all the documents will provide feedback by the end of tomorrow, or all the documents are in. We will provide the feedback by the end of day tomorrow, which means the 19th. So you and your members can decide if you want to continue with the deal. So there's a possible deal, but we just felt like, okay, it's a 12-month deal. We need to give you an option to say, because what attracted most people on the flipping deal with Kuro was that it was going to be a short deal. Don't lose heart. Still on that deal number 3, there's deal number 4 and 5 that Leroy wants to discuss with us. I still need to have a look at how long that deal is, because some people have specifically communicated that they are trying to manage their cash flow. So I can imagine if someone has calculated that in July, I'm going to get paid, we are going on holiday, it will be school holidays. I really want you to be able to be able to plan that way. So I'm looking at 2 other short-term deals possibly, and I want to see how soon we can turn those around. So the option 2 is you want your money to stay in, and we go into this collaborative. If this deal analysis and the due diligence agrees with our system and the interest rate is fine, then you are going to go into the long-term deal. Okay. Option 3, we are doing something untraditional, not in line with our constitution, but we are willing to do a claim your money back if the 2 options don't work for you. And what this means is that we have got background admin that we have to do, because we have to extract, are you in the international investors group that is in the bank account, so that we can do a retransfer, or are you in the Stokvel, in which case we would do a payback via the Stokvel wallet, but there will be charges on Stokvel, and both you, the claimer, and us, we do pay a charge when we transact on Stokvel. So those are the things that are set out, and we just felt like we're not going to let you wait for a whole month before we communicate. Hence, you see WhatsApp group active, these webinar sessions active, because you need to see where you are. So just for your comfort again, international investors, that's what the bank account looks like, 575, 374. And for you guys in Stokvel, you are at 866,000. And what would happen is, if it's a yes for the Slava Holdings, which is the short term, 6 months, and we agree that first monies in are going to be invested, and we will look for another 15% deal. Then Van and I would claim the amount that's going to Slava, claim out of Stokvel. Then we transfer it to the Slava holding so that we can pay that developer and that money can start working. Let me see what I had on the last slide. Okay. Oh, I did have the slide. So end of business on the 5th of January, we had 568,160,000. So the rest of the money is trickled in afterwards, and that is recorded on the bank statement and on our stock statement on Stokvel. So this is the amount of money that we would take to the 6-month deal while we look out for the 2 other short-term deals and this long-term deal, and we do due diligence on them. This is your opportunity for questions, clarifications, and I see there are people who came in late, but you will get the gist as others ask. I'm going to leave it here just so that we have time for questions. Questions, suggestions, including disappointment note, comment.
Yeah, Mizo, it's easier to see who's got raised hands if your screen shares out. Yeah, thank you. So
Okay.
I see Latia. Latia, go for it. I see your raised hand.
Okay, thank you guys. Just to clarify, the early adopters 568,000 will go to deal A, Slava deal.
Yeah.
And the remaining money will go to deal option 2 with Slindile with
Maybe.
12 months, or it's a maybe.
It's a maybe if you agree to a long term. The issue, Lydia, I think it's such an important, juicy one, is that most people responded to this deal because it promised higher returns at a shorter term. You understand? And I want a person to have the option to say, no, man, I was signing up for the short term. And if you're signing up for the short term, then you have an opportunity to say, no, I don't want my money to participate in the Sakisizwe collaboration 12-month deal. We are not privy to share it because the detail of it is still being worked out. We will know by end of tomorrow about the 12-month deal. So people have got an option to choose that you're going to wait for the 12-month deal. And if it's a go, you go with it. Number 2, people are going to say, I want a 6-month deal as well, which is as good as the 568,000 early adopters one.
Okay, noted. I think the early adopters are the ones that need to, maybe they will lead the way.
And so guys, just so you're clear, the early adopters, how we worked it out was that we also wanted to make sure that what Leroy needed is what we covered, right? So we worked it up until the end of January 5th. So if your money reflected on Stokvel, we will send everyone an email to say, you are going into deal 2. Are you okay with it?
Yeah,
right. And these are the terms of deal 2. Let us know. So if you don't receive an email, that means that you are clearly not in deal 2, right? And you would also know that deal 2 comprises of everyone. Again, if your money was in Stokvel and reflected by end of day January 5th and in the bank account as well. So anyone in the bank account and in the Stokvel app, if your money reflected by end of day January 5th, you're being considered for deal 2.
Okay. So deal 2 is now called the Slava Holdings deal. Okay. So that's what you understand. And the Slava Holdings deal only needed 550, but we've got 568,150 for him. That's what's going into that deal. So I will keep writing on the chat just so that everyone is clear. So that's the Slava Holdings. Now the next deal that is super ready, that's on the table, that's on the hot stove. I must also raise my hand and let you know that I am one of those slow people. You know, I was waiting for the deal to be signed. So I'm not an early adopter. I'm very upset with myself right now. So the 12-month deal that's coming, that is hot on the stove, the one that we will be finalizing. Slee and I will have a long chat tomorrow and we'll let you know how it's going. And if it's something that on due diligence, who is this? Maleboho. Okay, yeah, Maleboho yeah. I tell you, they are all laughing at me. I'm the late adopter. I was waiting for the last day and then I was just going to do a quick FNB transfer and blah, blah, blah. Aish. Vanille, you are also a late comer. Damn.
Yeah, I know. So I've just been like fapping around and I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm just out here in the same boat as everyone else.
Anyway,
and I will
we've got...
admit, guys, it took a lot because I was like to me, so should we do a private deal with Slava Holdings or something before everything fell through, right? Because it looks so enticing, but it's all good.
Yeah. So Mandisa is asking a very, and stop laughing, guys. How? So Mandisa is asking a good question. So if I happen to put in more money today, does that mean I could possibly go into deal 3? That's exactly what it means, Mandisa. And it's such a good, juicy deal. But I hope the due diligence goes well. Because it's not our deal, I'm not doing the due diligence. I'm going to do a due diligence tomorrow with Slee once all the documents. I've got the development, I've looked at it, and we've had a to and fro a little bit, but she's doing the due diligence because it is essentially coming from Sakisizwe. We would just be putting money together so that we have got the muscle power to negotiate certain things with the developer. We already have a figure that we want. So that's where we are. For those who paid early, will they participate in both deals, or correct me if I'm getting it right?
Well, if you paid before the 5th of January, you let's just say before the morning of the 6th of January, and your money reflected, you will participate in deal number 2. But if there are monies that you then paid, so some people, what's happened is they've paid in December and then they've paid again in January. So let's say you paid in January 10th, some of the money you paid on December 30th, the money you paid on December 30th will participate in deal number 2. The money you paid in January 10th will go towards towards the deal 3 that we are working on with Sakisizwe. But I also want to keep reiterating what Mizo is saying, that yes, we have the Sakisizwe deal, but we are also constantly looking at other deals as well.
Short-term deals.
We are looking at other short-term deals because we did promise you guys a short-term deal. But we want a juicy short-term deal, right? So if we come across another great short-term deal that has a 15% return on investment, 6 months or less, we're going to bring it to the table to you guys after we do due diligence on it, right? And then you'll get to decide. And then the Sakisizwe deal is not going to go away. But if we don't come across that, then we definitely still have the option of the Sakisizwe deal, depending on what comes up at end of day tomorrow after Slindile and her team have looked at the deal and analyzed it, because they are still going through the analysis and looking at it and seeing if it will be a good deal in total.
Yeah. And Slee has actually visited the development site, and this guy is desperately looking for money. And because he's desperately looking to finish, because he's got term loans to start paying off. Number two, he is in a good state that the loan that he is waiting for requires this equity. So with our money, we could quickly get him that loan so that he can pay us. And we are in a strong position if we bring all the money, because then we can negotiate a higher interest rate. Ushle, thank you for your question. I have answered Trifina on the chat to say no. Actually, we do not have a closing date. We don't now for deal 3. You can start paying in anything. Kabo Yaona, I would like to know if the Stokvel is always going to be getting new investors. At some point, it would be defined number of investors to reach the 250 million vision. Yes. So Kabo Yaona, let me tell you, because I belong to a group of a trust, I know how these things work. What would happen is we would just register a trust, and on a trust, there's no limit where you shut the gate in literally. You don't necessarily shut the gate. What you do is you just have the investors who are also the benefactors of that trust. So we would add a name of the trust, and the person would get their own trust certificate. And that's the reason why we are not buying any properties right now. The trust requires a lot of admin, requires us to adopt a new constitution. We would have to be appointed as trustees, and we would have independent trustees so that money is safeguarded. So that we will cross that demarcation in another 24 months. But thank you for asking that question. Yeah.
And I also just want to add that we are constantly getting new people in the Stokvel. This is why it's growing. So we are constantly inviting people to jump onto the Stokvel and be part of the Stokvel. So you guys are going to see it grow and grow over the next few months. It's going to grow even more than it has already, right?
Absolutely.
Because we're obviously going to be putting more and more resources into getting the word out. And as these things happen, word of mouth, you guys are going to now go home and tell your friends and your family, and they're going to come on board and join.
Yeah,
so this
absolutely.
is how we're going to reach the 250 million goal.
Million.
And we actually don't know how we're going to reach it. Like,
We
I
don't.
love that. I know that we will in 5 years because we've set the intention, but we actually don't have like oh, this is the strategy. We didn't have that with even deal number 2. We're just like, oh, we're going to reach 1 million. We're going to just get into alignment, set the intention, and then take the actions that feel strategically aligned and feel good energetically for us. So that's exactly what we've been doing with the Property Magicians podcast and with the entire Stokvel. And since it's worked so far, I think we're just gonna see where it goes.
I know. Tebogo has asked a very good question. That's good, actually. That's good. Okay, listen to this, Ben. I hadn't thought of it. Can early adopters opt for deals? If the due diligence is good on deal 3, can I say no? I want to be in deal 3 than in the Slava Holdings deal 2. Absolutely. Yeah. Fortunately for us, the way the system is, guys, you must know, Ven is pedantic. She and the administrator are doing the Lord's work. I couldn't. So they have got this tight spreadsheet. So you can tell who put in money when and whatever. There are different colors and oh yeah. So yes, indeed. And early comer who paid in December can say, what if deal 3 has got a higher percentage? I want my money to go to higher percentage, or I don't mind my money going to gym for 12 months. I will see the results after 12 months. It's fine. I don't have to be in the 6-month deal. Absolutely. And then once you get the email, you send it up, you send it to us. we will swap people and put another person into the 6-month deal? Thanks for asking that. That's such a good question. Love that.
That is a great question. So just let us know, guys. We'll send out the emails. We're really excited. And I think if you tell us what we'll do, I think the easiest thing, once someone drops off from deal 2, we'll tell people, we'll say, hey, someone has left deal number 2. If you've invested, if you haven't received an email and you're now left over for deal number 3, but you want your money to go to deal number 2, let us know. So we'll put it up on WhatsApp if anyone drops off from deal number 2. I think that's going to be the easiest way.
Okay. Unkageletsi says, I would really like to invite my friends, but before I do so, can I get a detailed explanation as to how will their money grow in the Stokvel, e.g., if I had to pay 5,000 a month, monthly basis, how will investment grow? I'm new on the property Stokvel and it's very interesting. Aha. Unkageletsi, you ask a very good question. What we've done a frequently asked questions. We have got a landing site. I want to almost copy the landing website so that you can send it to your friends as well. We have got these webinars from the day the Wealthy One Stokvel was launched. There is number 1 video, there is number 2 video on deal number 1 that we've done with another company, Biz House, and there are 2 subsequent videos that we have done. So all of it is in there. All right. So if you were to be investing 5,000 monthly, which is what the early adopters had been doing, they would throw in money at any one time, right? They joined with 1,000 and they were throwing in 5,500, 250. What has happened now is their deal is going towards Slava Holdings. Slava Holdings, end of July, is going to pay back the money with 15%. And on our system, we've got their names and how much they have contributed. When the money comes, how much they've contributed, and then we calculate 15%. And on the day of payment, kiching, they get paid. And if you are in South Africa, it goes into the Stokvel e-wallet, because there's a wallet there and the person can decide whether they want to reinvest or they take it out and go and use it. And that's how you make money. In 6 months, try putting that money in the bank and see if you can get 15%. You won't. All right. Thanks for asking the question. Nice name. Gabo Yaone Ari, is the Stokvel paying you at the moment for the time you are putting in doing all this administrative? Yeah, Gabo Yaone. Fortunately, what we have done, the reason why you are paying a 1,000 administrative fee is that we've got an administrator who needs to be paid. We have got the platform Stokveler that needs to be paid, and the property magicians, which the Stokvel is where it is. The Stokvel is hosted by the property magicians. We pay for the website, we pay for everything that happens. So that's where our administrative payment comes from. Yes, indeed. But good question, very good question. I like people who know that things work because people are doing work. Ven has just shared a link of YouTube that you can share with anyone that you want. Okay, my friend is here. This has been very useful and enlightening. Thank you. I need to be excused. Absolutely. My friend is polite. Bye, Komozo. Okay, then do you want to share how to calculate the return? Or are you going to share it?
I think they should go to YouTube. It's a process, right? It's like a 30 to 45-minute class, guys.
Oh, yes.
So that class takes you through how to pull up your financial calculator, I'll actually also put this in the frequently asked questions, by the way, so that the
Please.
link is always directly there. So if you get lost, you can go to the FAQs. I'll do it right after this call, this webinar actually. So on there, in that class that I hosted, we all worked together. Everyone was on the call. The early adopters, as we're calling them, were on there. And what we did was we pulled up a financial calculator to help you figure out how to do compound interest. So it's very, very simple. I do a full screen share. I show you how to use the calculator. If you decide that you're going to invest 1,000 Rand every month and the interest is 15% per annum, and then you're like, oh, okay, every month this will be invested. I'm going to reinvest this. How much can you roughly expect in terms of your return on investment, say after 5 years of investing 1,000 Rand every month in the Stokvel, right? So the best way, I would say, maybe take away 2 months a year for the time when we're busy doing the deal calculations, right? But then like look at the reinvestment. Sometimes it will be higher because some deals like now it's in 6 months, you're getting 15%, right? Some deals like the first deal in 12 months, you get 15%, right? So but it gives you a basic idea of what you can expect, so that if you say in another 5 years, I want to have X amount in my investment portfolio, I also show you how to work backwards and the difference between investing a lump sum and a consistent amount every single month. Right? I've made it very, very simple. It's easy. And I will say this, I recommend you guys do this not just for this deal. Do this also for your retirement annuities, because people are investing in retirement annuities, in endowments and things. Your financial advisors are coming, telling you this is what you're going to get. And then you turn around and you're like, I've been paying like 2,000 Rand a month, but after 30 years, this is all I'm getting. So do the math, go back to your financial advisors, and don't do this just because you're in the Stokvel. I did this so that you guys can be truly empowered. When you sit down with your financial advisors, you can say, actually, if you give me 10% per annum, or when you go back to them and you say, this is not making this much interest rate, at this interest rate, I won't have the same amount if I go another 25 years in this deal, in this investment, right? Because then you have the power to do that. Whereas now they're just using the fact that like most people don't know how to calculate their own return on investments and just offering whatever they want to offer, right? So yeah, that's it. I will put the link in the FAQs.
Okay. I like your question so much. But Mandisa, she is talking to me. Like Mandisa says, Van, don't trigger me with RAs and financial advice. Everybody knows this story. I share it on the podcast all the time, because at the end of 40 years of working, Mina, my mother with those stupid provident funds, she gets paid monthly 630 rands or something stupid like that. I can't deal. Really can't deal. Yeah, but then this is very very helpful. Actually, that webinar was the best thing ever. So the Slava deal, when Malebogo, who has asked, he just sent us the contract this afternoon, right, like 20 to 7, while I was busy getting ready for this webinar. So I haven't read through it, but we spoke to him, and it's his birthday, and we were just doing a quick, but we finished the deal on Saturday already, when we knew that we are pulling out and pivoting out of the initial deal too. So guys, I am feeling like I have said more than enough for the evening, and keep chatting on the WhatsApp. We're going to answer questions. So deal number 2 is now called Slava Holdings, and that's how we are going to communicate it so that everyone else gets it. All right. I didn't see any Lesotho person today.
Yeah. Mizo, can you share the contract, or do you want me to share the tough thing? Because you've already got it up. Can you share the tough deal, the tough
Detail.
letter?
The tough letter and
on the WhatsApp group so that people can look through it and get comfortable with it. Yeah.
I think on the tough. Okay.
So people know that it's legit, guys. Tough does, and the beauty of why we feel confident with Leroy's deal is that Tough does due diligence. They don't just invest,
they
right?
don't invest, but they don't just do due diligence. They take the hand of the developer and walk him through. So when his architect is talking nonsense, Tough has got an equivalent architect that goes on site and says, no, he's talking nonsense. That's not going to happen. Structural engineer inside of Tough goes on site and says, no, your structural engineer cannot do that. He must build this wall this way, and the foundation is wrong this way and that. And they do an education program for every one of their developers. So you come out of Tough with money and you come out fully educated. Yeah. The only thing about Tough that's a disadvantage is that their money is a little expensive, but we all love Tough because they actually are invested in Black property moguls. So that's where we're going to go one day when we are buying buildings, guys.
We are actually, that's where the 250 million is coming from. That's our plan. That's
our plan. They have they really
so
are
we do
invested.
have a plan. We just haven't said it. Okay. Guys, thank you very much. We're not going to keep you any longer. Please keep a lookout. I'm going to try to send this email as soon as I get the recording from Zoom. I'm going to send out the email and also post this up in the Stokvel investments page. I will also make sure to post the link to the YouTube on the frequently asked questions. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic evening. Thank you for showing up. And for everyone who wasn't here, we missed you. Let us know your thoughts. If you don't understand anything, please feel free to email Penny at stokvel@wealthy-money.com, and she will answer. If she can't answer, she will ask us to respond to you guys.
Thank you, Malebucho. That's the best 1 hour. We always love coming here.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening. We're going to end.